Hey, Super Dave here, coming at you from Prog once again with another no BS reaction. Time for me to expand my boundaries just a little bit. Thanks for coming along on the ride. So, today I'm going to be checking out one of those artists whose name I've seen a lot, but have never heard any of his music. Always getting mentions here and there, maybe coming up as a list of similar artists, but always on the outskirts of other stuff I'm listening to, it seems. So, the artist is known as Phideaux. I'm pretty certain I am pronouncing that correctly. 4 years of high school French should be enough to help me handle it. But that's what I'm saying, Phideaux. And I actually thought it was a band's name. So it turns out, actually, it's an artist, one dude. His full name is Phideaux Xavier. Easily one of the most unusual names I have ever heard. Though, honestly, I gotta wonder, is it a stage name? Does it matter? It does not. Whatever. He's really quite apparently well known and well regarded in prog circles, which is why I've been seeing him pop up so often. And so I've been curious. Let's check out this Phideaux band, which turns out to be this Phideaux dude, and see what happens. So, the song today I'm going to be reviewing comes from his 2003 debut album, which is entitled Fiendish, and the song is called Fragment. So, Phideaux apparently describes it as progressive space folk. So, okay, sure. First time I've heard that description. But meanwhile, before we get into it, before we get started, quick reminder here, if you could, do the like and subscribe thing. It would really be appreciated. If you are social media minded, my links are below. You can follow me that way. Also, you will find the link to my all progressive rock station on Live 365. That is called The Expanse. So, meanwhile, here we go with Phideaux, Fragment. Buckle up.
I was by your side, standing so close, but we did not smile. I saw you lose control. I saw your system overload. Go away. That night we cried like two lost cars with crashing lights. Once for a while I was next to you.
I'm going to pause that here. Meant to get that in between verses and chorus and missed my opportunity for a moment there. Got caught up in it, really. I was reading through the lyrics. So far I'm digging this. I like the vibe. I definitely, I can hear that psychedelic, spacey kind of sound to it there. And without being overly orchestrated or hitting you with a million notes a minute and all that, it's got this nice complexity to the arrangement. A little bit wall of sound thing, because there's always something going on each moment. And if you saw me doing this, listen to it on headphones. That's where the mixing of it is pretty impressive, because not only are you hearing, it almost gives the impression like there's more than one keyboard player, when I'm really pretty certain it's just one, but the way they're playing it and the notes are interplaying, they're also mixed back and forth, left to right, which is really a cool effect when you're listening to it. And I like the melody, but it's a restrained complexity is I guess the way I would describe it here. I like it, and it calls to mind a little bit of Radiohead, a little bit of Porcupine Tree, things of that nature that have that psychedelic, spacey vibe to them, but at the same time are modern. Doesn't sound to me like something you would have pulled out of the 60s or early 70s when a lot of the psychedelia was going on. It doesn't have that vibe. It's got a modern tonality to it, and kind of a modern sensibility in the way it's composed. But so far I quite like that. It's pretty cool. It's definitely a cool little tune, and I don't quite have the ear for it, but I'm betting what I'm hearing is mostly minor chord type stuff, which always appeals to me. At least I think so. I don't think those are major chords, but not a musician. At best, I was a drummer, and not a great one. Anyway, let's get back to this. Back it up a little bit. There we go.
For a while, I was next to you. You looked away, though you did not move. I wish to hold you near. I tried to reach your inner ear. Stay away, away, away. In the silence of that night we tried to break the seal to what's inside. Like strangers on familiar land, we navigate but can't understand. Awake, I can see behind. You were afraid. I was paralyzed. I saw you round the bend. I knew the way that it would end. I wish to hold you near and cheat the face of what was clear. Stay away, 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 away.
Very cool. Actually, very cool. I dug that. It's a nice, cool, mellow tune, but it's not sleepy or overly slow. It's got a nice rhythm to it. I mean, it's not what I would call overly complex per se in arrangement. It's at least the complexity is restrained. Mostly goes along with the keyboards and the guitar. It's little flourishes, little touches here and there. Some nice syncopated keyboard interplay over what is pretty much a fairly straightforward drum beat. I mean, that's a 4/4 that I'm hearing, and everything is hitting on the 2s and 4s with a little bit of extra syncopated notes thrown in there on the drums. But overall, the whole thing fits because I think just of the way everything is, again, there's always a little something happening. And it's only a note or two here and there, but it's bouncing back and forth. It's in your ears, left or right. It's got a little bit of this spacey overtone, but none of it overwhelms. But it's just this cool kind of mellow tune, more of a mid-tempo than I would call a ballad, certainly. Although lyrically, it's interesting because there's this imagery in my head of reading it, almost comparing a relationship with a car accident, a motor vehicle accident, car crash, whatever you want to say. There's that there. Granted, he used the word car, so I don't know if that got it fixated in my head or not, but there's just this sense of collision, of almost inevitable watching it while it happens, crash or accident, or what's the word I'm looking for? Incident. That is the metaphor for a relationship that either hits so hard with its sudden intensity or hits hard and completely blows up. A little bit of both. At least that's what I'm hearing in it. But I dig. This is a song where I go, okay, cool. Great place to start. It does encourage me to want to hear more of Phideaux. And at this point, I can easily hear the appeal to those in the progosphere. Those of us who are prog noggins totally can get into this, Pineapple Thief, Porcupine Tree, Radiohead, all those elements kind of mixed in here a little bit, with a sheen of Pink Floyd over it, if you can believe that. Of course, granted, Porcupine Tree inherently comes with a sheen of Pink Floyd most of the time. So, redundant? Maybe. You decide. You tell me. What are your thoughts? Is this something you're familiar with? Is this something that's new to you as well? Did I pick a good song to start with as far as a song that introduced somebody to Phideaux? So the kind of thing you would recommend? You got other recommendations. Am I off the beam? Am I talking completely out my ass about what the lyrics meant? Or do you have other thoughts? What did I hit on? What did I miss? Whatever. I'm very curious what you think, so let me know. Let's chat a little bit. Other than that, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate your time and for joining me on this little journey. That's all I have for you today, so remember, never fear to deviate from the norm, keep it proggy, and this is Super Dave, signing off.